Under Captain Ibrahim Traoré's leadership, Burkina Faso has seen tremendous transformation, particularly in the war against insurgency. Traoré was so fearless that he even disclosed 3 words that he thinks Africans should remove from their language: cowardice, betrayal, and incompetence. We'll examine his suggestions on these terms and their meaning for Africa. The remarkable accomplishments of Captain Ibrahim Traoré are guiding Burkina Faso toward prosperity. How did he do this, though? What was his route to achievement? We must first examine the circumstances that brought Burkina Faso to the verge of collapse in order to get the answers to these issues, and then we must look at the revolutionary steps Traoré has made to make the country resilient again. Burkina Faso is battling insurgency, protecting its sovereignty, and maintaining its dignity under Traoré's leadership. The country has a great history and an unbreakable character. A change in perspective is redefining Africa's potential, upending long-held notions, and demonstrating that adversity does not limit potential elsewhere in the world. Yet in 2022, when rebel groups seized control of large areas, Burkina Faso's security problem reached a breaking point, placing the country at risk of collapse. The government's failures and the gravity of the threat were brought to light by the catastrophic September ambush of a convoy of 207 vehicles, which infuriated the people and prompted calls for immediate action. Captain Ibrahim Traoré sprang out of this turmoil with a sincere desire to bring stability and peace back. In contrast to other coups in the country's history, Traoré's leadership was distinguished by a quick, calculated takeover and a resounding declaration that the protection of Burkinabe lives was now the first priority. His troops seized power with cool precision, ushering in a new age of rule centered on security. Traoré recognized early on that tackling the insurgency would need extensive restructuring. He made bolstering the military with cutting-edge gear, improved training, and logistical advancements his top priority. Understanding that a defeated force could not prevail, he made investments in modern weaponry, improved communication, and made sure that soldiers on the front lines got the support and resources they required. Traoré spoke to the country often, publicly sharing both successes and setbacks. In contrast to his predecessors, Burkinabe people responded favorably to his openness and sincere involvement, supporting his vision and his appeal for teamwork. The fact that Traoré actively participated in the conflict, visiting soldiers on the front lines, and interacting with terrorism, President Ibrahim affected citizens, further demonstrated his leadership by demonstrating that he was not only a leader. The operation to relieve Djibo's blockade, which required a precise balancing act between military strategy and humanitarian aid, was a prime example of his dedication. This triumph raised spirits, won over the hearts of the populace, and delivered supplies to a beleaguered city. As support at home grew, Traoré looked for alliances abroad as well. Seeing that Burkina Faso needed friends to combat radicalism, he looked for unconventional partnerships to bolster the country's defenses. His commitment to community involvement and national security, along with these initiatives, mark a significant shift in Burkina Faso's strategy for fighting insurgencies. In addition to changing Burkina Faso's future, Traoré's leadership is redefining what it means for Africa as a whole to be resilient and united. The leadership that Africa requires. We worship Ibrahim Traoré, the Messiah of Africa, the prophet-bearer of our ancestors' messages, the monarch of the poor, the rescuer of the oppressed countries, and a symbol of solidarity.